Okay, and a lot of you will already know about the law of attraction, and that the idea is that there is a universal law of that you can actually attract what you want. So, you know, you'll have some idea of it. Some of you might have even done the whole Oponopono course, and some of you might be completely new to all of this, and you'll be thinking, what is she talking about? Don't worry about that, because I have to tell you that when I was completely new to this, I was thinking, this is just mad. So that's okay. But what I want you to do is to be really open to the information that I'm presenting you if you are completely new. Because I say this to my son sometimes, because sometimes he thinks, what is she talking about? And I sometimes say, just because you don't know about it yet, it doesn't mean it doesn't exist. So just be open to this. I myself kind of went back and forth with all of this. And then one day I just thought, you know what, I'm just going to try it out and see if this thing actually works. And I just tried it out. So be the same, be open to it, because you don't know whether it'll work unless you give it a proper go, you know, like an open go. And if it doesn't work for you, that's fine. You know, you go and do something else. So just and obviously you have an open mind, otherwise you would be on this call. So that's really good. So basically, you know, you might have this is about Ho'oponopono, really. It's about the Huna tradition of a very simple but powerful technique that can get you to a place of your wants. But also what I have found along with the Ho'oponopono is, how does this actually fit in with the law of attraction? So there was a time before Ho'oponopono hit kind of our experience where a lot of people were using law of attraction. And what they were finding with the law of attraction was it was working 50% of the time. So do want to talk about how law of attraction fits in with the Ho'oponopono, and why for sometimes it works, you know, you get what you want, and sometimes actually it doesn't. And what to do about that. So I'm going to bring in the two techniques together. And I have kind of created a format. When we were allowed to do this, we used to sit in a circle where in a circle, you create a very powerful container. And you know, circles have been going on for eons of time. People have sat in circle, and you might have even seen, you know, as a youngster, people just sitting in a circle outside the house. Not that they knew they were sitting in a circle, but they were actually sitting in a circle. And the minute you get yourself in a circle, in that group, there is lots of energy and amplification of words that happen. And the Huna tradition originally, the Ho'oponopono tradition originally, came from a place of a circle. And that's why I wanted to incorporate this idea of, when we work with the Ho'oponopono, we can work in a circle. Yes, we can work with it individually as well. As we begin to understand it more, we can work with it individually. But in a group situation, what happens is there's an amplification. And one of the people that I'll be quoting today was Esther Hicks, and some of you might have come across her work. And Esther Hicks talks about creating a vortex. So that circle kind of creates a vortex of energy where immense things can really happen together. It's, you know, it's like an amplification of that energy. So within this idea of putting the law of attraction and the Ho'oponopono together to try and clear any sabotages that we have from, you know, whatever we're wanting, the main thing that really sits with this is that we always look at what our set point is and what vibration that we're carrying. And to do this, we always make it very, very clear to the universe what we want. And I mean the word want. I don't mean the word need, and I don't mean the word should, like. or I would like. No, you're not speaking to another human being. You're speaking to a great energy. And the energy is not saying, say please and thank you, please. Or you know, the idea that if you're wanting something, you're selfish. A lot of us have been brought up with the idea that when you're in a place of want, that's selfishness. No, the universe is not interested in that. The universe is actually interested in you getting clarity about what you want and really clarifying it out. You know, saying to the universe, this is what I want. However, at the same time that you're saying this, sort of putting this out to the universe, I'm going to talk a little bit about congruency. It's not just the words. So I know we can create vision boards, or we can have affirmations, or we can stick things on the fridge. It's not just the words. It's actually the vibration that you're holding that matters. So I'll give you a story of a friend of mine. We'll call her S. And what she wanted was, she wanted to create a center where she could offer her holistic therapies free. She said, wouldn't that be great? And, you know, wouldn't it be great if somebody sponsored me? And I thought, and I said to her, well, what about just getting the money yourself? And she said, well, where would I get that money from? And I said, well, you know, you could actually put a want out. I mean, you know, why not do the lottery? Do the lottery and see if you can get the money that way. And she did the lottery, and she rang me a couple of days later, and she said, guess what? I won £30. And I said to her, but where are the other zeros? And she said, oh, you know what? She said, come to think of it, while I was buying the ticket, I thought to myself, but if I win all that money, that's going to be really hard work. Now, can you see, in the moment that she was actually having that transaction with the universe, the vibration that she was carrying was, I don't really want this because it'll be too hard work. And I said to her, you know what, the universe is not interested in £30 or 30 million pounds, you know, it just wants to give you what you want. But you really, the vibration that you gave to the universe at the time was that it would be hard work, and that's what you got. So this is what I talk about, the congruency. So in this circle format, we always talk about what we want and what we're actually feeling. So when you're creating your vision boards, or when you're creating what you want, go deeper and link in and see what you're actually feeling about that. Say, for example, that you're a dance teacher and you say, I want to have worldwide students and I want to, you know, but then you're feeling actually, oh, I don't know whether I can do that. You know, I'll be really scared. And you put that link out, you're not going to get the people, because that is your point of attraction. Say you want to start something new, but deep down you're you feel unworthy of it. You feel unworthy of doing that thing. That will be your point of attraction. So what I'm going to do is talk a little bit about the law of attraction. That's going to be the first part of it, because you will have all heard about the law of attraction. And the question must have been in your mind, why doesn't it work all the time? If it is a law, if it's a given law, why is this law of attraction not working all the time? And a lot of the work that I have based my work on is Esther Hicks, because it really lies very nicely with the Oponopono. It is kind of in alignment with it, but it's said in a very different way. So sometimes, you know, you need the same thing said to you in a couple of ways, and then you'll kind of really get it. So I'm going to talk a little bit, share a little bit about the law of attraction, but not the law of attraction in terms of just another slant on it, and my experience of it as well. And then how does that Ho'oponopono sit with that? But I'm also going to give you, share with you what Ho'oponopono is and how that sits with it. So in the law, what we have to constantly remember in this idea of the law of attraction, that whatever you focus on and whatever you give your energy to, that will come to you. You are always your set point. And we need to constantly try and change our set point. Because if we are attracting something, then we are like a magnet. And therefore, what that means is that we are the point of attraction. So that's the first thing. Always remember, you are the point of attraction. Now, whether that is in the law of attraction or whether that is in Ho'oponopono. Ho'oponopono is a system where the memories are running your experience. So it is within you, it is not without you. So you are the set point of attraction, and your job is actually to try and clear that set point of attraction. And that is one of the keys, really, because guess what? You are always there. You are always there. But in our upbringing, it's almost like you're not supposed to be there. You're not important. You're not supposed to get your wants. You're supposed to give everybody else their wants. That should make you happy. And if you're busy trying to get your wants, that's selfish. So we want to change that set point, because what happens with that set point is, even though we are asking for things to shift and change, deep down, we might still be resonating with the idea that we are selfish, that we are unworthy, that we are not enough. So the one thing that the law of attraction and the Ho'oponopono, these two areas need to focus on, is what vibration you are carrying. Because it's like you're a channel, television channel. You put the TV on and it's just going grrr, and it's when you tune into a channel that something happens. You yourself are a channel. So your experiences are coming from that channel. And to change your experiences, the channel has to change. I don't know, you have to do an upgrade or whatever we can call it. Tune to a different channel. You could actually say, you know what, I was a channel called, I believe in suffering to get what I want. Oh, I've changed my channel. I believe in joy, and I believe in getting what I want easily. But you have to do the work on yourself, and that's where the Ho'oponopono comes in. What you need to remember about the law of attraction is that the law of attraction can only match your dominant vibration. And you need to be aware of what your dominant vibration is about anything, because you are the point of attraction. Okay? So basically, that should be your focus. And as I said earlier, I'm going to base a lot of this work on the Esther and Jerry Hicks, the teachings of Abraham. So you can actually look up, you can go onto YouTube and have a look at some of these teachings. They're very interesting, and will give you a new way of looking at things. So here's the thing. What you think about and what you focus on is what you get. Now, if you're thinking about something that you don't have and you want it, your point of focus is actually, I don't have this. This is where you have to tweak it. Because what happens is your thoughts are like broadcast signals to the universe. telling the universe what you want. So you're sending out broadcast signals, and the universe is matching that broadcast signal. And that broadcast signal doesn't come from your mouth, doesn't come from your vision board, doesn't come from your fridge magnet or your affirmation. It comes from what you're actually feeling about it. So what you have to do is match the broadcast signal with the feeling of what's going on. So that's what we call congruency. You have to be congruent with what you want. Now, what happens is we have to do all of this, we have to be very, very careful with our words. Okay? Whenever you are repeating a story, whenever you're telling a story, whenever you're retelling your story, whenever you're retelling the story of your story, because, you know, some of us have a story about our story, you're actually giving that point energy, and you're keeping that alive. So here's the thing. If you want a different story, you have to tell a different story, so that your broadcast signal starts to change. I remember I was out with a friend of mine, and we ordered some lunch or something, and you know, sometimes they take your order and they forget your order, or got lost somewhere. We waited and waited and waited, and suddenly I said, you know what, I think they've forgotten us. And he immediately said, oh, that always happens to me. They always forget me. They always forget me. And you know, that's my story. If you ask my daughter, that's my story. They're always forgetting me. I get forgotten everywhere. And I said, well, you're with me now. And sometimes I find that if people do forget, you actually get double the abundance. So that's my experience of being forgotten sometimes, that you end up getting double the experience. So I said, I'll tell you what, I'll go and check. And yes, they'd forgotten us. But you see, he had a story about being forgotten. He'd become that story. He'd almost accepted that story. What actually ended up happening was they apologized profusely. And then when we'd finished our meal, they came with this custom-made dessert that was absolutely spectacular. Like, it was just worth having the extra hour away. So we had, of course, they didn't charge us for it. And he kind of looked, and I thought, I wonder if you really get that. Will you be able to change your story now? But so we have to be careful about the story that we're telling about our story sometimes, because otherwise that is our still continuing broadcast signal. And when we come on to the Oponopono bit, you will see how you can begin to erase this story or delete this file that is constantly running you. So that's the first thing. You want a different story? Tell a different story. Okay, that's so start to become aware of your words. Start to become aware of what you're saying to others about you, and start to be, more importantly, start to become aware of what you're saying about yourself to you. The inner critic. Catch the thought, and that is the thought that you're going to start deleting with the Ho'oponopono. Otherwise, that thought is giving you the experience, and hopefully by the end of this session, you'll understand how that works. So, what you're doing is you are giving off a vibration, and that vibration is offering a signal. So become aware of the vibration that you're actually offering, because what you're actually doing is setting up a frequency. If you want a different experience, if you want a different story, that frequency has to change. You know, in a radio signal, we tune in and we tweak things. We need to start changing the dial on here, us, I. Not expecting the dial to be changed out there. You know, it's a little bit like watching a film. You know, when you're watching a film, it's on a screen, isn't it? And sometimes you're in it, you feel as if you're in it, and you are having that experience, and you almost feel as if that experience is happening to you. Now, if anybody wanted to go and change that experience on the screen, there is nothing that can be done on the screen. The change has to come from within the thing that is projecting out. You know, in the old days, they used to call it the projector. That's why we call it projections. It has to go and be changed at the point of source, which is a projector or however things are run nowadays. You know, you need to go in and change it at that point, and then the screen changes. So just have an awareness of that it's always you that needs to be worked on rather than another. So if you're having angst with another, hopefully by the end of this session, you will understand that that angst can be shifted, not by shifting the outer, but by shifting the inner. Now, Esther Hicks talks about vibrational alignment. And this is an interesting thing. So if you can have a thought about something that you want, and for 68 seconds, now think how long 68 seconds is. It's not very long, is it? If while you're wanting that thing, like S wanted the lottery win, if for 68 seconds, nothing drops in where there is any doubt about you being able to manifest that or get that, that is where you start to see the law of attraction really working. It's like, you know, the prophets walking on water. I am sure in that moment of the walking on water, there was no doubt. But think about the number of times you really wanted something. And I don't mean that you'll have the doubt in your head, because that's where the thought will be going out. But you might feel in your gut, you might actually say, do you know what? I want £100,000. But somewhere within you, you might not feel that you're worthy of that money. So that is the point of attraction. So 68 seconds, try it for 68 seconds and see if you can sit with something you really want without another thing dropping in and saying, oh, I'm not sure you'll be able to cope with that. You know, it's the feeling. That's why whenever you're putting out a want or wanting something from the law of attraction, go and monitor how you're really feeling about it, because that is your set point. So you have to start changing your set point to get things. So with the Oponopono, you know, we're talking, people talk about cleaning. If you've done some work with the Oponopono, they talk about cleaning. But really, the whole basis of Oponopono is to become peace of I. Peace of I. Become peaceful wherever you are in any given moment, then you're in a place called allowing. And in this place of allowing, anything can come to you, because you're not asking from a place of lack. If you ask from a place of lack, that is your point of attraction. That's what you'll get. Point of attraction, that's what you'll get. So if you come from a place of allowing, there is a space for this thing to come through. And the Ho'oponopono is for you really to get into a peaceful place with whatever is going on with you at any given moment. And this now creates a place of allowing for you to manifest anything that you want. So you're changing your vibration. Because really, the law of universe, the universe is really wanting to give you anything that you want. You have to be in a place of allowing, and that's the power of the Ho'oponopono, because what the Ho'oponopono does is begins to clear the veil. It begins to clear the clutter so that you have space for this new thing that you want. You are starting to get in a place of allowing. And while you're clearing your emotional clutter with this amazing Ho'oponopono technique, very simple, very effective, very powerful, but it has to be done in a certain way, honoring the tradition of what it really is. Then using forgiveness and love and transmuting whatever it is, forgiveness and love empties, deletes the memories, helps to delete the memories, empties the bin. So while you're in this place of trying to declutter the memories that are making, the experiences in your life happen, think about decluttering physically as well. And physically in the environment that you're in. That is really important as well, because we might be manifesting in our physical reality a bit of a hoarding, keeping the stories, keeping the memories, and which is what we're doing if we're keeping the stories, in our emotions or in our mind. So think about clearing your clutter as well, physical clutter around you. That is a big start. Physical is important. So just remembering that the feeling that you have about any of your want is absolutely vital. If you're feeling a negative emotion about something that you are wanting, that is your vibrational offering. So you need to begin to work on this aspect. And you can't go from a negative emotion right up there. I mean, that's not the truth. That's not congruent. It's step by step, constantly looking for a better feeling. And a better feeling will give you a different set point, a different offering to the universe. And it doesn't have to be that you have this better feeling all the time. You can get into a better feeling by, I don't know, you're walking around, you've had just an awful day, something really has gone wrong. And so, you decide, you know what, I'm going to walk out in nature for 5 minutes, 10 minutes. And suddenly, within all of this chaos, in this tsunami, and that's life. Life is a tsunami. I mean, are you not expecting experiences in your life? Because and sometimes it's a very primitive thing for us to head into the tsunami. So head into the drama of it. So anyway, this friend of mine was sailing around the world with her husband, and she ended up in a tsunami. And not normal tsunami, a real tsunami. And this was really interesting. So the primitive part of her was wanting her to get herself on the ground, on the land, to be where all the other people were in this tsunami. Another part of her decided the best thing to do is to stay in the center of the tsunami. So instead of heading out towards they were quite near the shore, instead of heading out into the shore, which is the natural tendency to get into the drama, they started heading back into the tsunami, trying to stay in the center of the tsunami. When it ended, they started to go back to the shore. They were just boats, bodies, boats, bodies, boats, bodies. Sometimes it takes all of your energy to stay out of the drama. But in staying out of the drama, that saved her life and her husband's. So here's another thing. Think of all the dramas that go on. Try and stay in the center. Now, how do we actually do that? Well, we don't get caught up in the story. We don't keep repeating the story. We don't collude with the person. We don't sit there and have an hour call about it or an hour conversation about it. When you know about the Oponopono, in that moment that person is speaking, you do the clearing using the power of Oponopono, so that you're not getting in the middle of that, you're not getting out of the into the drama, but you're staying in the middle of the tsunami. Now, in some ways, we're actually conditioned to get into the drama, because you might find that people will say, well, why isn't she giving me tea and sympathy? Tea and some sympathy sometimes is just fueling the person's story. I remember playing tennis one time, and somebody came in and said to me, oh, we came to the net. He said, oh, do you know blah blah's got cancer? And in that moment, I used the technique of the Oponopono to clear whatever that was, because it was in my experience then. And she said, did you hear me? I said, blah, blah, blah. And what she wanted me was to start having this big, long conversation about it. But instead of having the conversation, what I did was I started to do the work, to do the clearing, to delete the memory that was within me, that was giving me this experience. You'll kind of get what I mean about this later. So, very important that you learn to stay in the center of the tsunami, and that you don't start splitting your energy, giving it to different dramas, especially family. So sometimes our family, you think, are you just here to test me? I thought you were here to support me. I thought you were here to love me. No, you're just here to test me, aren't you? And then they get really annoyed when you don't jump into the drama, when you don't keep talking about the drama, when you're saying, hey ho, thank you, but you know, there's another way of resolving this. Oh, you're so selfish, blah, 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 blah. So anyway, so just start, and if you think of it as being a vortex, rather, you know, if you don't want to think about a tsunami, you stay in the center of it. And that is beginning to shift your point of attraction. Because if you jump in the drama, your point of attraction will be drama. And that might have been in the past, but it doesn't always have to be that way. What you need to always constantly do is to try and be in a place of appreciation, gratitude, or blessing, so that you're trying to always stay centered online, trying to tune into the channel that you really want to tune into. If you want to be tuned into a channel where there is just blessings, appreciation, abundance, gratitude, then you've got to hold that vibration within you. And it doesn't have to be like, it can't be a false thing, because that is not what you're really feeling. So one of the things that I do to kind of get this vibration of abundance and appreciation and, just blessing and gratitude is I have about 20 minutes in my day, every single day, where I just focus on that. Now, I'm not going to sit cross-legged and do something. What I do is I choose the one thing, and you just have to pick one thing that you really like. And for me, it's coffee. I choose the very best coffee that I can buy, that is roasted especially for me, that is sent to me, and then I make it exactly how I want it, exact temperature, the exact right amount of chocolate on top, with a beautiful mug. And then I'm not going to rush around drinking that. I sit for 20 minutes. And in that moment of those 20 minutes, I feel completely 100% abundant. There will be nowhere in the world that can make me that coffee as well as I make, because I've got a nice machine for it. And I am in a place of complete abundance. The universe once gave me an experience where I was in a hotel where the coffee was £30, 30 sterling, which is, I don't know, $40 or something like that. But on top of it was real gold dust. And I've drunk that coffee. And I'm so grateful that I had that. And not only was it £30 a cup, but I didn't have to pay for it. I could order as many as I wanted for the 5 days I was there. But can I just tell you, that coffee is not as good as the one I make for myself, because I get it exactly how I want it. Now, find something for you that gives you the resonance of complete abundance, gratitude, appreciation, and peace. For 10 even, but 20 is just a nice time. Why aren't you worth 20 minutes in your day? 24 hours, you're not worth 20 minutes in your day. Nobody sit there and tell me, oh no, I'm just so busy, I haven't got 20 minutes. No, not believing that. Are you not worth 20 minutes of the 24 hours? And are you not worth the best of what you choose? Because that gives you the point of abundance. That gives you a different feeling. That gives you a different vibration. Do not go and get a credit card and start spending at Harrods or something, because that's not real. That will make you feel bad, because you think, oh my God, so do something that is, I'll tell you another little story here, because this kind of really shows you how important it is that the vibration we carry is one of the most important things for us. So I used to go to do these meditations in Brazil, and there was a guy there from America. He paid a lot of money, and he would come, and what he was looking for was abundance. And we would have to sit for, sometimes it'd be 8 hours. We'd have little breaks, just meditating, eyes closed, complete silence, meditation. But we would have a time to go and have a break at lunchtime. And it was in Brazil, it was very hot. And now remember, he spent a lot of money to come from America, to ask for abundance. Now, and he's sitting meditating for abundance. And then when we get our break, he walks quite a long way to go and get some water. And he used to buy a big bottle. One day I said to him, oh my God, why do you walk all that way in that sun to get that water, big bottle of water? He said, because it's cheaper. Can you see that? Is complete lack of abundance. This guy could definitely afford to go to the shop next door and buy a couple of bottles of water and then carry the vibration of abundance that he was seeking, because he was nullifying his meditation of the whole morning by seeking what he's always sought, which is scarcity, which is the vibration of I don't have enough. So when you want to change something on the outer, change it in the inner. Choose something and start doing that. And then be very careful about where your thoughts are constantly going. You know, Esther Hicks says something, clean it up, thought by thought, connecting and staying with your source energy, because source energy wants you to have everything you want. So even she talks about cleaning, and in the whole Oponopono, we're talking about cleaning as well. So in every moment, be aware of your feelings. Now, most of us have a very clear want about what we want. Yeah, we have a sense of what we really want. I mean, we may not feel worthy of our want. We may be afraid that if we go for our want, that it's going to affect everybody else around us, whether it's our partnership, our family, our relationship, our work schedule, our children, blah, 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 all those things. But we do know what we want. Now, when you put out a want to the universe, can you make it very, very clear and very succinct? So this is how it goes. So imagine that you want to go to wherever is your home, and you want to travel to a specific place. On your way to that specific place, you might have a tire puncture, you might run out of petrol, you might be diverted, there might be loads of traffic, there might be something else, there might be an engine failure, I don't know, lots of stuff could go wrong. But on the way from A to B, because you want to be at B for a certain reason, do you suddenly decide, oh, do you know what? I've got to see, I'll just stay there. But you do in your real life sometimes do that. You know what you want. You get halfway there and think, you know what? Well, this will do. You never do that with your physical journey, do you, in a car? You go where you want to go, regardless of what is in your way. You will do everything to solve the situation to get from A to B, because that's where you want to go. But really think about whether you do that in your real life, and whether sometimes you are put somewhere in a different place to where you want to be and then just accept it. Well, if you're in that place right now, this is the background. In a minute, we're going to look at the whole Oponopono, and you're going to start learning a very simple technique to start clearing that place, a place where you've been put, not because you want to be there, but because of circumstances or experiences that you've had. So be very clear. I'm in A, and I want to go to B, and I'm going to get there, regardless. And even if I feel it's a really hard journey, even if I feel I can't do it, even if I feel unworthy of it, I am gonna have a good old go at it, because guess what? You only have one life. Some of you are young and you have longer than some of us, but you only have one life. And by this time in your life, you might as well start getting what you want. I have a kind of a perception of life where, you know, babies have 3 trimesters. First trimester, second trimester, third trimester. I think what happens in real life is we have first trimester where we do what our parents want us to do, what our teachers want us to do, what our adults want us to do. Second trimester, we end up doing what our family wants us to do, our children or our partner or our husband or whatever. Third trimester is what I want to do. If you're in your third trimester is 60. But you know what? There's no need to leave it to 60. Get going where you want to be right now. You know where you want to go for it. And start becoming the star of your own story. Don't let your previous story define you. It was history, his story. Do not let that story become your story. Let it go. Actually, no, don't let it go. It's already gone. Realize it. Realize it's gone. Don't even worry about letting it go. What's this let it go? Let it go is hard. I'll tell you what's an easier thought. It's already gone. You might have got stuck in a story of letting it go. I've got to let it go. I've got to let this go. I've got to let this go. No. It's gone. You just have to realize it's gone. Okay, so just stay on path, stay on track. It might, have a little glitches. Call it a glitch. It's a glitch. And the glitch might be coming from your own sabotage of your worthiness, your sense of feeling your worthiness of getting what you want. So, remember, law of attraction can only match your dominant vibration. If there are memories or data in your dominant vibration, in your energetic signal, you will keep attracting the same thing over and over again. And you might find, you might have a friend that seems to be having the same old relationship over and over again. Same relationship, different face. Same relationship, different face. Or actually might be you. But that must be me because I keep attracting that over and over again. So what can I do about that? I'm going to start shifting that in with me so that my point of attraction is different and I am not the set point of what I'm attracting. My set point is going to change. And here's the thing. You have to become the vibrational match to who you really are. Not what you become, who you really are. So at the top of that pile is you have come to experience joy in this life. That thing, I think that's embedded in us through maybe religion or tradition or culture, that you learn everything through suffering. Hey ho, I don't want that story. I'm not buying into that story. I've come to experience joy. And what you're going to do is to constantly monitor what you're feeling. So if you're in a place of anger or frustration or, rage or whatever, just remember that is your point of attraction. So if you're in a place of anger, you will get, guess what? You won't get joy. You'll get what you, dominant resonance, anger. You'll get anger coming up in all different ways. Remember, That is your set point. You want a different story? Change your vibrational state. Start to move to patterns of allowing a different story by speaking a different story, letting go of his story, and raising your vibration, shifting you so that you start experiencing a different story through allowing or becoming of, or even just moments of when you are becoming aware of what your story is, you are shifting. So even just the awareness, even right now, suddenly having a little thoughts drop in is shifting that. So just be aware of that. Okay, so that's the law of attraction. A lot of you will know a lot about the law of attraction. What I would like to do is, we're going to have a break in about 15 minutes. But I want you to, I'm going to put on a little, it's like a little meditation, but it's a talking meditation. It will kind of reaffirm what I've been saying. And all you've got to do is just listen to it. You know, you don't have to try and remember everything. It's like be in a place of allowing it. Just allow. So just sit back, and we're just going to just listen to this, and then we're going to have a little loo break or a tea break, or moving around break. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to share it on the screen. If you can't hear it or you've got problem hearing it, you can go on the chat and just write something on the chat, and we'll try and sort that out. So just sit and relax. If you can be a little bit, yeah, just relax and listen to it.
It is nice to have an opportunity to visit about the subject of this recording, for it has been created especially to help you in the following way. When you are in a state of allowing, which means you have quieted your mind or focused your mind in such a way that there is an absence or a decreasing of resistant thought, your vibration naturally rises. Now what that means is you're coming closer and closer to vibrational alignment with who you really are, to the frequency of your source, to the frequency of your inner being. And under those vibrational alignment conditions, you must thrive. This recording has been devised with the intent that you might set aside 15 minutes every day where you simply listen and relax and breathe. And as you do that, you will naturally come into a different vibrational state. So you will be training your vibration away from patterns of resistance and toward patterns of allowing, which will make it, over time, just natural for you to find those better feeling thoughts. When you find better feeling thoughts and then release resistance, your natural vibration rises. And when your natural vibration rises, you will have achieved a different and improved point of attraction. And then that different point of attraction brings you better feeling thoughts to observe, and your life just gets better and better. This recording is called Getting into the Vortex Meditations, and what that literally means is focusing your mind upon thoughts that allow your alignment with the broader part of who you really are. And who you really are from our perspective is already in the vortex. Whenever you know what you don't want, there is an equivalent awareness of what you do want. That we are calling a vortex of creation, your vortex of creation. So as that desire, which you have carved out of the life that you are living, moves forward vibrationally into this vibrational place that we are calling a vortex of creation, the law of attraction then draws all cooperative components to it. The law of attraction, the essence of that which is likened to itself, is drawn. Anytime you are feeling negative emotion, or anytime your experience is diminished in any way, it is only because you, in your physical form, because of the thought that you are thinking, are not vibrationally up to speed with this expanded version of you. Our meditation recording is designed to assist you in getting up to speed with you and to help you be consistently a vibrational match to that furthermost expanded part of you. When you find a way to stop resisting who you've become and to allow yourself to become a vibrational match to who you have become, you are in the vortex and you are in a state of thriving. Everything that we teach really is about helping you move in the direction of what feels better. But this recording has been specifically created in order to assist you in understanding this very important thing. Anytime you try hard from your position of need or pain or concern or worry or anger or hurt from outside the vortex, there's a very strong probability that your attempt, your effort, your struggle, the very work that you are doing is completely counterproductive because it just amplifies the outside the vortex pattern that you already have going. But if you can find a way of focusing differently so that you can find yourself inside the vortex, in alignment with who you really are, and then from inside the vortex, you do 100% of your affirming, it's a shortcut that we think is really worth considering. And that's what this meditation CD is really all about. It's a faster way for you to release resistance, some of it that you've been carrying around for most of your life. It's a faster way of using the leverage of the energy that creates worlds. Segments of the recording, you'll find them to be beneficial no matter where you begin.
How do you get into this place of allowing? How do you get into the center of this? What we're going to do is have a little break. That was actually a different recording than I wanted, but it just is kind of summarize where we want to go. How do we get there? How do we get into this place? When we have a little break, we'll have a 10-minute break. I'm going to come back and we're going to, I'm going to come back and look at the Ho'oponopono, because the Ho'oponopono is such a powerful, simple, amazing technique that allows you to get into this place, that allows you to change the offering, that allows you to change a set point, and by deleting all the clutter, by deleting the sabotages, the feelings of unworthiness, etc. So it is 11:10 here. So whatever time it is for you, 10 minutes, take 10 minutes, move around, do what you need to do, and then we're going to come back and look at the Ho'oponopono and how this fits in with the law of attraction. Okay, so see you in a minute. Okay, so some of you that are on, you've come across the Oponopono before, but like, even if you've done it before, every time you hear it again, you hear something new. And it's the same for me. That recording I actually played was not the one that I wanted to play, but it still carried some of that gist of what I wanted. Some of you are completely new to this whole Oponopono. So I'm going to actually just go as if you're all completely new to it, and you might pick up something that you haven't picked up before. And I have to say, kind of be really open to this, because it's a technique that has only come out to the West in the last, I don't know, 5-6 years, because it's so simple. And actually the idea of it doesn't really make sense if you're trying to make sense of it. So don't try and make sense of it, just do it. I myself kind of was introduced to the Huna tradition in 1997 in Hawaii, and I was thinking, what is this? And then I was introduced to Esther and Jerry Hicks's work, and I put the book away for 7 years thinking, oh, I don't know what this is about. But the way that I came across it again after 7 years was a book by Joe Vitale, who talked about Dr. Hugh Len, and how Dr. Hugh Len had cured people in a mental hospital by not doing anything specifically with them except playing tennis with them occasionally, but by actually working with himself, and by beginning to realize that something was, these people were in his experience, because there was parts of him that needed to be healed. So he didn't work on them specifically, he worked on himself. And the 12 patients, 10 of them were kind of, were healed. So that was a really interesting idea. The interesting thing about Dr. Hugh Len was that when he first went to do the training for this Ho'oponopono by a lady called Mona Simonu, so I'll put some of these names on later so you can have a look up some of these if you're new. The first time he went to her training, he listened for about 10 minutes and he thought, this is mumbo jumbo, and he left. And then the second time round, something still drew him back. He went to another one of the trainings. And I'm not sure whether he left a second time or he stayed a longer time, but it was only the third time round, I think, that he really started to, not even understand. This is not a thing that you can really try and understand. You just do it. You get it. You know it. You try it. So Ho'oponopono, what does that mean? It's Ho is to make. Pono, you're making right with yourself. So in the word Ho'oponopono, pono is twice in that word. Pono, you're making right with yourself. And pono, you're making right with another. Now, this is a really interesting concept, because here is a concept saying you make right with yourself first. That helps to make right with another. Whereas most of us have been brought up to believe you make right with another first, you put yourself second. It's almost like this technique is so amazing that it's almost like giving you permission for the first time ever to start taking care of your own needs, and knowing that as you're taking care of your own needs, it has an effect on everybody else. Everybody within your experience, within your lineage, within your family. Really, really interesting, so that you can put yourself at the center of your own story. So Pono is a state of being right with yourself. It's a feeling of having unwavering congruency about yourself, about a situation, and or about what you're doing. You must have had those moments of, you have an idea, you go for it, it flows, everything goes right, you have no doubt, and you just go. So the main premise in the Ho'oponopono is that we are run by a higher consciousness, which is a super consciousness, the conscious and the subconscious. So this higher consciousness is the 20% of the time we have this amazing inspiration. And this higher consciousness is the place where everything is right. We are perfect. We have that, you know, no doubt about who we really are. The conscious is obviously the mind, the thoughts, and the conscious is what initiates the Ho'opono process. Now, we kind of have been led to believe that it is the conscious that has a direct channel to the higher consciousness. But actually what's interesting is that it is the subconscious that has a direct link to the superconscious, the higher consciousness. But if you think about it, most of the time we are trying to push our subconscious down. If you think of your subconscious as your inner child, think of your subconscious as your inner child. And think of the number of times that you don't really listen to your subconscious, your inner child, that you try and suppress it, that you try and push it down. So it's the little you in you trying to have a conversation with you, but you're always too busy. You know, I'll come back to you, I'll come back to you, I'll come back to you. But this is the interesting thing. If you don't see to the inner child within you, the subconscious, because then you're not going to have these experiences that you want, because in this subconscious is where all your memories and your data sits. And unless you pay attention to it, and unless you start cleaning this subconscious out, this department out, then your experiences are actually run by your subconscious, not by your conscious. So you are trying, think of your subconscious like this. It is, if you get an old computer, yeah, you buy an old computer from somebody, there will be loads of files on it. Yes, they might have deleted it, but you know the files get into hard drive and all sorts of drives. To make that computer run proficiently and as it can run, you have to clear all the files off it, delete all the memory off it, go back to restore point. Ho'oponopono is trying to clear those memories, data that is stored within your DNA. Your DNA is not just empty. Your DNA has come through with all the memories and information from your ancestors, from your genealogy, from your you know, all your relations and all their relationships and all their relations, it's encoded in your DNA. And that encoding is the same as an old computer having all those memories on them. And what happens is, as you begin to use the technique of Ho'oponopono, which is like an erasing tool, to start clearing the memories in your data system, you start to get different experiences. Because what you're doing is you're starting to change your vibration that you're carrying. You're starting to change your set point. Otherwise, you leave all those memories there, you'll still get the same old, same old. And sometimes it's like having a virus in the computer, you know, works and then goes off. It works and it goes off. So you need, think about Ho'oponopono as this. Ho'oponopono there is to help you get back to restore point. And on a restore point in a computer, that restore point will get that computer to run like new. You'll be able to have new experiences on that computer because the memory will be freed up. However, if the memory is all full of clutter and gunge and stuff, where are you going to add your new experiences? This is what we're calling about the place of allowing. There is no place of allowing in a computer system that is full of memories and files and data. And you are like a computer system full of memories, files, and data. And the Ho'oponopono technique will give you a way of clearing it. Okay? And how is that clearing done? Well, it's amazing. It is done through love and forgiveness. The power of forgiveness. Because forgiveness is never a gift to another. It's always a gift to the self. Because the moment you come to a point of forgiveness, you're cutting off the energy connection. So basically, Ho'oponopono is a process of forgiveness, transmutation, and love to clearing the memories that you're holding because you've come encoded in with those memories. It's evoking the spirit of love to heal within you anything that needs to be healed. So what happens is you continually keep having experiences. Every time you have an experience, it is a chance for you to heal itself. So that person who keeps having the same experience with different, same relationships with a different person is not, you needs to heal that part within themselves so that same experience doesn't keep coming back. It's like a loop, stuck loop, stuck loop. We need to get off the loop by erasing the memory that is causing for us to keep falling back into that loop, because that memory is a point of attraction. And Ho'oponopono is a very amazing, simple technique where you're actually clearing that memory. Okay, so you can read the Joe Vitale book, and it'll give you, you know, kind of how it all came into being. So the system has been adapted, the Ho'oponopono, the current modern way of Ho'oponopono has been adapted from the Huna traditions. Originally, the Hunas would, if there was anything going on, they would sit in a circle and there would be a process of forgiveness from the person that was involved and the other person, and they'd, you know, that's how resolved it would be done with that way. Things were resolved that way. Now, what your job therefore is not to go out on the screen and try and erase anything, not to go out and change anything out there, but your job is to do what Gandhi said, be the change you want. So your job is to change you and nobody else. If you're having an issue with another in angst about something, it is not your job to try and change the other. Your job is to change you. In changing you, that helps the other to change because you've shifted now. There's going to be a shift, okay? Now, the first thing to really get a handle on, and I found this really difficult initially, is this. You are responsible for every experience that comes to you. You are responsible for every experience that comes to you, but you are not at fault. Because that experience could be coming to you from your DNA encoding. But you're still responsible because it's within you. But it's not your fault. So that's the first thing. Because I remember when this came up, I thought, well, I'm having this awful experience with, right now, because that's my responsibility. I'm doing that to myself, and I was getting really upset about this, But then here's the thing. If it is your responsibility, then what that means is you can do something about it. If it was happening to you, what can you do about it? You can't do anything about something that you've got any control over. So if it's your responsibility, you can do something about it. And what you do is you initiate the whole Oponopono process. And now this experience that has been coming to you over and over again is not going to keep coming to you. Because what you've done is you have deleted the memory or the file that was drawing the experience to you. So you have to take 100% responsibility for whatever is going on in your experience, because it is your experience and you're in that experience. And it's happening because there is a vibrational match. You are the point of the attraction, so you are a vibrational match to it. It's not happening because of something you did, but it's because you're holding a file that's a vibrational match to it, and you need to start deleting that file. Okay, so what you're doing is you're cleaning, we'll call it cleaning or clearing, the part of you that is creating the outer experience. Okay, and what you're doing therefore is getting into a place of allowing and inner peace. That's why I said one of the things that seems to escape people is that I see this in, I don't know, Facebook sometimes, that people seem to be cleaning according to a situation, but no. One of the basic tenets of a Ho'oponopono is peace of eye. In any given situation, if you become peaceful wherever that is, you've changed your set point, you've done some clearing. Instead of it triggering you, you're neutral to it. All right? When you're neutral to something, you're peaceful with it. It's not saying it's the right thing. You might not be in the right place, but suddenly you are just, even in that place of acceptance, you can now start the allowing to happen. So one of the things when you initiate this process, the Ho'oponopono process, is for you to become peaceful wherever you are right then. Okay? And then that allows you to come in that place of allowing. So peace begins with I. A lot of time you will hear these people, I want peace for the world, I want peace, and they're not peaceful themselves. You cannot have it outward if you haven't got it inward. So if you're out there fighting for peace for everybody else, just check in with you. Are you peaceful? Have you given yourself the same time, energy, effort to become a peaceful being that you're wanting outside of you? Because the experiences or the problems that are happening out there are memories that are being replayed. And that replaying is giving that experience. And if you don't want that memory to keep replaying a similar experience over and over again, then you need to delete that memory. So that as you begin to delete more and more of these memories, you start to have experiences now, not from your memories or your data, but you start to have experiences from inspiration. Inspiration is that super consciousness, that higher consciousness. where everything is perfect, everything flows, there's abundance, and things just flow. You might set the project up and suddenly, it was so easy, it just happened. That's the place of inspiration. But basically, what happens is we live 80% of the time from memories and data, and 20% of time from inspiration. And what we need to do is to spend time cleaning out the data and the memories. Because the replayed memories keep showing up for you to clean them up, to delete them. And how do you actually do that? We'll go into that in a minute about the phrase. The phrase is a sort of, the phrase that you use is permission to something greater than you to do the cleaning or clearing. You don't have to worry about how it's done. You know, so you need to get your mind out of this. You know, when you get into a car, do you actually sit down and think, how does this engine work? And if I don't know how this engine works, I won't be able to drive. But you don't do that. You know, you don't even care how it works. You just want to put your foot on the pedal and drive. So be like that with the Oponopono. Put your foot on the pedal and go with it and see where it takes you. I've done that. I did that and I was going, oh my God, this is amazing. So don't try and understand it. The minute you try and understand it, you're just getting back in your old conditionings, in your old memories. So this is how it works. You give, in the initiation or in the saying of this little phrase to initiate the whole Oponopono process, you're asking something greater than you, be it divine source, universal energy, God, love, anything that is out there, something greater than you, to actually do the work for you. It's a bit like pressing the delete button and you're not sitting there thinking, God, I really know, we need to know how that works, otherwise it won't delete. If I don't sit and look at it for another 50 minutes, it's not going to delete. No, click the button, delete it. You know. I know in the past we would, you have to recount your story about 50 million times before you process, otherwise you're not going to be able to delete it. I'm not interested in all of that. I just want to press the button and delete it. This is the power of Oponopono. Press the button, delete it, move on. Because you've got loads to delete. You're always deleting. Dr. Hugh Len, if you ask him, what is he doing? Oh, he says, I'm deleting memories. That's my job. I've come here to delete all of those memories, because this is the thing. If you don't delete the memories, it passes on to your next generation. And, you know, it could be your children or it could be your brothers or sisters. You'll see all the patterns still there. So you're not, when you're deleting from yourself, you're deleting from everybody else. I mean, in this coronavirus, what we learned was we have to look after number one. Did we not? Did we get past it because we're looking after everybody else? No. We had to look after number one, because guess what? If we were looking after number one, we were doing everything we were supposed to be doing, washing our hands, we were actually clear. We had to keep ourselves clear. We didn't have to worry about keeping anybody else clear. This was the first time we just said, oh, it's very important what I do, who I see, how I do it. We have to clear us, keep clearing us, make sure we are clear. Because suddenly, everybody in the whole world found out if they follow and keep themselves clear, guess what? It was going to help everybody else. And it was the first time we had to kind of break away from families and, you know, stop going and visiting them, or because we had to really think about ourselves and keeping ourselves clear. In keeping ourselves clear, we were going to help the whole of the world. Really, yeah, your family and, you know, the whole community. So just going back to the whole Oponopono, You just initiate the process. Don't worry about how it's being done. Thy will be done. Okay? Thy will be done. So your job really is this, for you to start listening to your subconscious. Think of your subconscious as your inner child. When your inner child speaks, and this is the process of Oponopono, you say, I'm sorry, please forgive me, I love you, thank you. Because to be honest, when your inner child has been speaking, you might have just said, you know what, I haven't got time now, I've got things to do, I'll park it, I'll come back to you. Every single time that feeling comes up, you need to say to that inner child within you, I'm sorry, I have ignored you for so long. Please forgive me. I love you. Thank you for giving me another chance to clean whatever it is that needs to be cleaned. So if you have been suppressing that inner child, time to allow those feelings to come up, because feelings are the true vibration of who you are, what you're carrying, and what you're receiving. So clean up all the memories that are causing these feelings. And whenever you're in a process of trying to make a decision, what are you feeling is very, very important. It is really important. And one of the things that you might want to start saying to yourself is, I'm sorry, please forgive me for all the times my heart said yes and I said no. So the heart would have said yes from the inner child, the subconscious. But you would have said no with your head. And for all the times my heart said no and I said yes. I'm sorry, please forgive me. I love you. Thank you. It's almost like you're having a direct conversation with your heart instead of your mind. So follow the heart. The heart knows the truth. You don't know what you want to do? Listen to the heart. And when the heart speaks, take good notes. As you become more pono to anything you want to do, anything you want to create, anything that you want, you will be authentic and clear about it. There will be no doubt. There won't be this thought and then this feeling of doubt or unworthiness. You will be pono. It will be unwavering congruency about yourself, about another, about a situation. Everything will seem right. And the higher self, your higher consciousness sees you as pure light. So you are never at fault. You just happen to hold a set of memories that have been passed down from your DNA through your ancestral line, and even through your own experiences that you need to start to delete. And what your aim is to do, try and clear as many memories as you can, because the memories are creating a veil around you. The memories are like the clouds. Just because there are clouds, it doesn't mean the sun has disappeared. It just means that the sun can't come through. Clear the clouds, memories. Interesting that it's even called cloud, isn't it? When you store memories up there, it's called cloud something. Anyway, clear the clouds because the sun is always there. So your job is to start clearing the memories. You don't need to understand. You don't need to understand what's going on. Because if you get into a point of trying to understand what's going on, you'll go into your conscious mind. Your conscious mind is only there to initiate the Ho'oponopono process. And what happens is, when you initiate the Ho'oponopono process, what you're doing is you are giving permission to something greater than you to clean the data. Now the question will be, why doesn't it just get automatically cleaned and deleted? Why didn't those memories just get done automatically? Because as a human being, you have free will and choice. And you exercise the free will and the choice. So in any given experience, you can choose to initiate the Ho'oponopono process and choose free will. The greater energy out there, whatever you want to call it, universe, source, divine, God, cannot clean your memories automatically unless you choose and give permission. So here is something that a lot of people don't get about the Ho'oponopono. When you are saying, I'm sorry, please forgive me, I love you, thank you, what you're doing is you're giving something greater than you permission to clean the memories for you, and then you don't have to worry about it. That's what you're doing. And in that moment, you are trying to become peace of eye because you're clearing. So you need to get into a place of neutral place. It might not be exactly where you want to be right then, but it's better to get into a place of neutral than in a place of angst. Because if you are feeling angst, anger, frustration, that is your set point. And so the Ho'oponopono process is continually allowing you to come back into a place of neutral, to a place of allowing, because you know it's being taken care of. Now, here's the thing. If you're asking something greater than you to take care of something, you cannot do it with an expectation. Because if you're doing something with an expectation, then you're doing it from a point of lack. Then you are trying to take control of it through the conscious mind. Then you might be even limiting it. So when you initiate the process, I'm sorry, please forgive me, I love you, thank you, there is no expectation on how it will be done. It can be done in many different ways, sometimes not even the ways that you would even think that it can be done. But if you are at that point of real congruency with a want, anything is possible. So I'll give you an example of this. I was traveling to Brazil one time, and at the airport, sometimes they have these supercars. Have you ever seen them? And you buy a ticket, and you know, you can win the car. Well, that day, I don't know what, this guy on the counter really made me believe that I was going to win that car. He said, I'll even help you win it, blah, blah. It's this number, it's this box you have to put across here. I kind of totally 100% believed him. And I was so crazy and so congruent with my belief that I spent £100 on one ticket. And then I went off to Brazil but then I went off and did meditation. I didn't really think about it because, you see, that was in my point of allowing. I kind of was thinking, it wasn't even an expectation. I just thought I was going to win the car. It wasn't even an expectation. It was just like this congruency with, I'm going to win the car. But then I let it all go and I was doing meditation. And what happened within the 2 weeks that I was in Brazil, I ended up somehow buying a car. I got a car. It was not the car I wanted. I had not gone out with the intention of wanting a car there. But in those 2 weeks, I ended up buying a car and having the money to buy the car, which I didn't even have in the first place. So the point of that was I put it out there and then I gave it no more attention. The shift was this, that I wasn't sitting there thinking, I don't have a car, I want a car. I don't have a car, I want a car. I don't have a car, I want a car. I just thought not even that I had the car, I would have the car. You know, sometimes people say, pretend you've already got it. Well, I'm sorry, but that doesn't work because you're not really feeling it. Unless you really feel it. If you really feel, I that day felt I was really going to win that car. But if you're saying, oh, I have it already, and deep down you're not feeling it, that's not being congruent. If you can get congruent with those two things, that's very important. So don't go with when you're using this Oponopono process, a lot of people sometimes say, I'm cleaning on this, I'm cleaning on that. Well, that is an expectation. I read somewhere the other day, somebody said something, I'm cleaning on the problems I'm having with my partner. But they were really cleaning on their partner. But you can't do that in the whole Oponopono. It's never outer. The vibration that you're carrying is creating an experience where you're having a problem with the partner. It's nothing to do with him really in some ways. He's just the experience. So what you need to do is to clear the vibration in you that is giving you this experience. And then you don't even have to worry about it either, because you can initiate the process and let that process happen. No expectations. And surrendering to it. Surrendering. Whoa, surrendering. Surrendering might mean that you'll have to let go of controlling, or trying to make an outcome happen, or trying to make it happen in a certain way. Surrendering. Whoa. Surrendering, is that powerlessness or is that powerful? What does surrendering mean to you? Do you feel as if you're really doing something? Or does it make you feel powerless? Surrender, no expectation when you initiate the Ho'oponopono process. So if you have been using Ho'oponopono, try using it in that way and really get to the heart of what is the issue. The memory, the program is in you. You only work on you. If you are having angst with another person, the question is, what is in me that is causing this angst? What is it in me that is causing this experience to happen? Whatever it is, I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I love you. Thank you. Now, this is a very different way from thinking about things, because in the past, we have retold the story over and over again and over and over again, and we've thought the way to let it go is to retell it over and over again and then process it. And that's the only way to do it. No, we have a new way. We identify it within us. we give something greater than us we give up our free will and say, yes, please do whatever is needed to do. We surrender. We have no expectation. Thy will be done. Try it. So in any given experience, always clean or clear yourself, never another. Because what you're basically trying to do is to try to go back to zero. In zero, there are no memories and anything is possible. If you think of the computer, think of the restore point. You're trying to get you back to restore, where you can be the best version of yourself. That computer, when it gets back to restore, is the best version of that computer. All its memory is free. It can take on any program. It can do loads of things. But when it's full of memory, even you trying to load a little thing, there's no space for it. You know, on your phone sometimes when you've taken too many pictures, and then you're trying to, or got too much memory loaded on, and then you're trying to send a WhatsApp or a picture, and then the phone says, sorry, your memory is full, delete. That's what we should be doing with our lives, deleting some of that full memory so that we can start running ourselves in the way that we want to, so that we can attract different experiences, because we're not holding that memory within us, because that memory is the point of attraction that I was talking about earlier, is a set point. If you keep having the same experience, for example, in a relationship with the same type of guy over and over again, something in you needs to be deleted. And it might be that it could be a sense of unworthiness, a sense of I'm not enough. I don't know, something, but start cleaning within you. And while you're doing the Oponopono, one of a really good way, a good thing to do with it is start creating boundaries. Boundaries means you're not seeping everything everywhere. You're not leaking your energy everywhere. Really, really important. That really helps this process. Because you might find that you can't really do this process properly because all your energy is leaking out. Because although it's a very simple technique, you need your full energy within you to do the clearing within you. So set your boundaries. Boundaries is very important. And in this sequence, so you say, I'm sorry. You're really saying, I'm sorry to the inner you. I'm sorry that you're having to go through this experience. Please forgive me. You, the adult, who's not listening to your feelings, who's not listening to your heart, who keeps saying yes to your heart every time it says no, and no to your heart every time it says yes. You, the adult, has to be forgiven for the inner child who's suffering because you're not listening to your feelings. I'm sorry, please forgive me. I love you. That inner child needs to know that she is loved, worthy of attention, worthy of being paid attention, worthy of being heard, worthy of having their wants, as worthy as anybody else. So constantly you're asking yourself, what is causing this experience to happen? So you're saying, I'm sorry, please forgive me, I love you. And then thank you. Thank you. You think, oh my God, what am I thanking myself for? Like, thank you. Thank you for having this experience again. No, thank you for getting the opportunity to heal the part of yourself that is causing this experience. Thank you. Another opportunity to heal the part of me that kept me stuck in this loop, in this repetitive behavior, in this repetitive experience. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Now, what's interesting is obviously we're always in a relationship. There is always going to be another person there. But the most important relationship is with the self, because that actually governs all your relationships. So that your relationship with your inner child is your most important relationship. It's definitely your most important relationship. So here's the thing. If a person comes into your life and tells you of a problem, that problem now is in your experience and it becomes your problem in a way. So you clean on that. For example, sometimes when I'm driving even, and I see an ambulance, that is now in my experience. And what I'm going to do is to clean on that experience. So whenever, this is the thing, whenever you're cleaning on yourself, the outward changes, so the person gets that as well. So if you're having angst with, say, your mother relationship, the same old loop is going round, don't clean on your mother. Don't try and expect her to change. No, be the change you want, clean on you, change you, and guess what? Suddenly, things shift, things change. Dr. Hugh Led, and do look at some of his videos. There's on YouTube, he's got some videos called 1 to 9, very interesting to listen to him. He talks about the fact that cleaning or clearing, he calls it cleaning, helps reduce the mortgage on your soul. So these are ancestral memories that have come through that need to be cleaned and cleared. And if you want to go really deep with the clearing, if you want to take a big brush and go right in it, right really, really deep, then there are some ancestral prayers by somebody called Howard Wales that you can use as well. And they're like a longer version of the Oponopono. The whole time when you're doing all of this, you're surrendering to a greater power to, okay, so sorry, there's a message here. Can I ask for an example of what you may say? Sorry, let's just see that. Actually, who was that, the person who's just put that example? Michelle, is it? Michelle, what was it you wanted to ask?
Yeah, no, I think it's very interesting, Alweena. I'm sorry for interrupting.
No, it's fine.
Because I have been reading around the whole Opono and watching YouTube videos, but I always would have said, for the person who would have caused me the angst, or, for example, when someone's telling me a story, I say it to them. I actually have got it the wrong way around. So I was just wondering, when they're causing an angst in me, am I saying, like, Michelle, I am sorry?
No.
No,
remember what you're actually doing is you're initiating a process to clean the memory in you.
Okay.
So you always clean in you. So your intention is always you. You don't say, Michelle, I'm sorry. You just say, I'm sorry. I'm sorry you're going through this experience, if you want to say it like that. I'm sorry. Please forgive me.
So I'm sorry I'm feeling cross at the minute, or I'm sorry I'm feeling, I don't know, angry.
No, you don't need to identify the feeling.
Okay.
This is what I'm saying. You don't need to understand what it is. You could actually say, however, if you're feeling whatever is making me feel this way, I'm sorry, please forgive me, I love you, thank you. Do you see?
Yeah.
You've taken it wider. Were you doing it for the other person?
Yeah. I was.
It's okay.
It's not working.
You know what you were doing? You were watching the screen and going to the screen and trying to erase it on the screen. Go to the projector. You are the projector.
Okay. Thank you. Sorry for interrupting. That's
no,
brilliant.
Actually, if you've got a dying question, do ask, because otherwise your mind is thinking, well, I don't really understand that bit.
Thank you.
That's fine. And you know what, Michelle, thank you for asking that, because that will have clarified it for lots of people as well.
Well, probably not. Everybody else will be doing it right.
No, well, the thing is, you can, initially when you start doing it, you could say, whatever is causing this experience in me, I'm sorry, please forgive me, I love you, thank you.
Well, Alweena, thank you so much.
You're only cleaning yourself.
Yeah.
You're taking responsibility. This is why I said this taking responsibility is very important. There is a file running in you that is causing that experience to keep happening over and over again. It's like, like some people have a little button that they can press. So you could actually, you think, God, they press that button again. So whatever in me is causing this button to be pressed over and over again, I'm sorry, please forgive me, I love you, thank you.
Alweena, thank you. That means a lot. Thank you.
And what you're doing then is, when you're doing this initiation, you're actually giving something greater than you to actually do the work. So you don't have to know and understand everything that you're trying to clear. This gives you great freedom. If somebody comes in with an illness, somebody's saying, so that day, remember earlier I said to you that, so there was that tennis person who she'd got cancer. So I was just, whatever it means, I'm clearing the vibe, the experience. I'm not getting panicked, no. This is in my experience. I'm sorry, please forgive me. I love you, thank you. Just cleaning that memory. Do you say it in your head or out loud? That's a question. You say it in your head. You say it in your head because you're saying it to you, your subconscious you, the inner you. When I do run some virtual circles. When we do run this virtual circles, we actually do it together as a collective. The vibration of doing it together aloud is very, very powerful. And we have some people on the call here that have done that. So the rest of the time, you're just doing it. So what you're doing is, there's two ways of practicing this. So originally, if you remember the Huna traditions, they practiced within a circle, within a group. That is honestly the most powerful way to actually do that. But we are practicing on our own, so you say it in your head. So that was a good question, yeah. So if you've got a burning question, you can just put it up on the chat or unmute yourself and ask that question. But I will give you a chance to ask questions soon as well, to clarify things. What you need to remember is whatever is coming your way is a chance to heal it. That's why you keep saying, thank you, thank you, thank you. If I heal this within me, this, you know, eventually this experience cannot come in because I am not the set point of vibration. I'm not in that frequency. I'm not in that channel. I'm not tuning into that. The physical is an expression of the memories and that are taking place in the soul. So it's like just cleaning you all the time, all the time. You need to change the inner state, and as the inner state changes, the outer state changes as well. So Mona Simonu was like the mother of this modern Oponopono, who brought it out. And she used to work with governments, and she used to work with it in schools. And she has this prayer that she says, Divine Creator, Mother, Son is one. I ask you to purify, release, transmute these memories, energies, thoughts, negative vibrations to pure light. So can you see that that's just a very general thing that's not very specific? It's just these memories that are within me. I want those to be transmuted. I want it to be done. And then at the end of it, at the end of that little, it's like a prayer, she says, and it is done. Now, the first time I came across this prayer, I thought, and it is done? That's like, am I trying to be God? But then I realized I'm not trying to be God. I'm giving this prayer up to God or the divine or the universe or source or love or great bigger energy than me. So if there is this great immense energy, why wouldn't it be done? Who am I to doubt? Why would I limit it and think, oh, that can't be done? No. Thy will be done, and it is done. This is a greater energy than you who knows everything. Just waiting for you to give permission for this to be cleaned and cleared. So when you say, I love you, you're saying whatever comes your way is your radar to heal it, and you're petitioning love to rectify the errors in you. Love, the greater energy, God, divine, source, whatever. And in this I love you is the gratitude, the reverence that I was talking about. Remember I was saying, well, trying to be in that constant place of appreciation, gratitude, and blessing. This is where this I love you comes. This is where this I love the universe. I love the trees. I love the flowers. I love the beauty of it all. I love you comes. All right? Because the problems are just memories replayed over and over again, and through love and forgiveness, you can clean and delete these files. You are just giving something greater permission to delete the files. And in that moment, become peacify, become the love that you are asking to do the work for you, because then you are in tune, you're channeled up to the right channel, and then it can be done. Align yourself with that channel, and there in that channel is abundance and everything that you want. Align yourself, keep doing the forgiveness, keep being in this state of love, and see the shift in you, in your life, in your experiences. No expectations, and surrender, and get out of your own way. You can't do it. You don't have the power. Give it over to somebody greater than you. Now, in all of this idea of forgiveness, this is the thing. There is no investment in being right. Most of us are in a place stuck in relation to forgiveness because we are invested in being right. And there we need to clean the memory of judgment. We are so caught up in judgment that we don't like to forgive. That person did something to me, I'm going to make sure. Blah, blah, blah. Nothing to do with you. Who are you to judge anybody? Judgment, give that up, judgment. No investment in being right. You know, in forgiving anything or anybody or anything that's going on in your life, you're just cutting the cord. There's a story of the two monks crossing a river, and they are not allowed to touch women. And they come to a river, and there's a woman, and she says, "Oh, I can't cross. I need one of your help. Please help me." So one of the Buddhist monks picks her up and takes her across to the other side of the river and puts her down. And the two monks keep walking, and suddenly one monk says to the other one, "You're not supposed to do that. You weren't supposed to touch a woman." And the first monk says to him, "Guess what? I put her down at the bank. You're still carrying her." That is what forgiveness is about. Sometimes you haven't forgiven something or somebody has done to you, I don't know, 10, 20 years. I guarantee you they're not even thinking about it. You're thinking about it. The more you think about it, that is it. You're the monk carrying it. Even though the thing's been put down, put it down. I mean, God, you got time to waste on that? Time to waste on being right, investing in being right? It's done. History. Don't let it go. It's gone. His story. That's what, or her story. It's done. It's done. No letting go. It's done. It's gone. Just be aware. It's gone. And then guess what? Oponopono is one of the most powerful ways of getting out of the victim mode. Because you're not a victim. You can do something about it. You have a tool, you have a technique. Start deleting, start clearing. You're not a victim. You are not your story. Or you're not the story that you're telling about your story. Don't become your story. Become who you really are. Okay? The aim is to clean whatever is causing the resonance to the issue in yourself. We never try and sort anybody else out. We always try to heal ourselves. The premise is being, I hold the vibration, I can change it, I can get back to zero, and I have no resistance to it. We are literally creating every piece of our existence in order to heal. There's a lovely saying, a quote that I'd like to read to you. It says, relief to enfold obstacles peacefully in our heart and to be in the flow of life instead of resistance can affect others by the purity of our being and unconditional self-love and forgiveness. If we want love in our life, we have to become the love. And then that means we have to do the forgiveness. You trust every time that the process you've initiated will be done, thy will be done. No expectations. And one of the most important things is to become an observer. Start witnessing yourself. Start seeing when, instead of doing the Oponopono process, you jump into the tsunami and have a big old drama and go into tea and sympathy. And then, or give loads of energy to that story. Become, and just one last thing before I give you a chance to ask questions. You know, when you go to a room and it's dark and you put the light on, and now there's light in the room and you can see. Guess what? Everybody else who walks in that room can see as well. Put the light on for yourself and you'll put the light on for everybody else.